One of my sales assignments while working as a salesperson, I got hired by a company by the name of Kronos. This was 2007 to 2009, and I was hired as a mid-market account rep selling workforce management software. So we basically sold timekeeping software. Think of software that helps a company to track how much their employees are working, punch in, punch out. We also sold some scheduling features, scheduling when employees are going to work, and a whole bunch of other stuff. My territory was the Gulf Coast region, and I was assigned to companies between 500 to 2,500 employees, and I sold to all different industries. But there were a lot of manufacturers, a lot of long-term healthcare, a lot of hospitals, retail, a lot of different types of businesses. And so when I was hired by Kronos, I had actually just finished my MBA. I was working on my MBA at night while selling IT management software. And one of the reasons why this hiring manager chose me from the other candidates was he liked that I had my MBA, and he considered me to have a high business acumen. And he liked that because he wanted me to go out and to sell the software by having business conversations instead of going out and trying to push and sell software. Now, my thought back then, and even more so now, is this is a great idea. I realize even now, as I'm more experienced, of how good of a strategy this is and how good of a tactic this is, because the reality is that the prospect does not care about your product. You could have the fanciest software that does the coolest, greatest things, but at the end of the day, the prospect does not care about that. They care about their own stuff. It's what your software can do for them. Another reason why this is great is because when you're doing cold prospecting, it's most likely the case that the prospect is not in buying mode for what you sell. What I mean by that is that we often go to search engines and do research on the stuff we need and the stuff that we need to replace or the stuff that we're having challenges with. The prospect might need your help and need what you sell, but at the very time that they answer your call or receive your email, it's most likely the case that they're not thinking about buying what you sell. Could be, but most likely it's not. Also, your prospects are getting sold to a lot. Sold to a lot by salespeople that are out there talking about their product, pushing their product. And so that's what your prospect is hearing all day. So you want to stand out from that. And when you are effective at having business conversations with prospects, you start to speak the prospect's language. And that is not only something that the prospect can understand better, but it's an easier way to build rapport with them and help to educate them on how you can help and why they need what you sell. And when you're having business conversations and speaking the prospect's language, you start to talk about the things that they care about. Like I said, they don't care about how fast your product does something or how well your product does something. They care about what that means to them, what it can help them to improve. So because of all this, this is a very effective way at getting engaged and making prospects interested in your SaaS software. Now, unfortunately, it's not that easy. It's not that easy to be a salesperson and to go out and have business conversations with prospects. And this is what I experienced when my manager pushed me in this direction. And one reason why it's just not that easy is because most salespeople sell to many different types of businesses, many different types of industries. And because of that, it's very difficult to become an expert in the customer's business and to really understand all of the different things about their business. And that can make having business conversations more difficult. Now, there are some cases where you might be a very specialized salesperson where you only sell to one industry, like you only sell to oil and gas, or you only sell to telecommunications, and you indeed can become an expert in that industry. And so in this case, maybe it's easier for you to have business conversations, but the average salesperson might talk to and sell to a variety of different types of businesses. This is something that I experienced in that mid-market role, which is every prospect that I met with had a different business. So it's very difficult to know all of the different trends in their industry and to know the different language for their business. And if you really wanted to do that, it would take a lot of time to research and learn about all these different businesses. And because of all that, it can be difficult to know what to say and talk about. I mean, you could go into a meeting with an executive or a business owner with all intentions of, I want to have a more sophisticated business conversation, but you just don't know what to talk about. And that can make it difficult to have genuine business conversations. And at the end of the day, you don't want to waste the prospect's time with a business conversation that is not relevant to your SaaS software solution. For example, if we go back to my situation, yes, I just finished my MBA and I took accounting classes and marketing classes and management classes, but I don't want to have a conversation with the prospect about accounting if what I sell has nothing to do with accounting. So yes, you want to have business conversations, but you want them to be relevant and tied to how you can help. So because of all this, and because of all the different types of businesses that you encounter day in and day out, it's difficult to have sophisticated business conversations. So if we agree that it can be better to have business conversations, but it's extremely difficult, what if we can make that easy for you? And that's what I'm going to show you here today, is a step-by-step process that can solve all of those challenges that I just showed you. And it starts with organizing the key things that you should talk about and how those can be tied to the prospect's business. Organizing those thoughts on the front end, and then using those thoughts as a guide when you make your calls, or using those points in an email, or using that when you meet with prospects, that can help you to have business conversations.